We'll go ahead and get started. I provided a copy to all the media, and we'll be happy to provide a copy to anybody else that wants one. Guys, we're going to go ahead and read a couple of paragraphs. I will, and then the mayors will take it from there, and then they'll entertain questions to the extent that it's not already covered in the press release, but you'll see it's a pretty comprehensive thing. It's a joint press release from the mayors. On my immediate left is Mayor Walt Marini from Spring Valley, Mayor Don Finley from Oglesby, Mayor Scott Harrell from Peru, and Mayor Jeff Grove from the city of LaSalle. The mayors of the cities of LaSalle, Peru, Oglesby, and Spring Valley announced today a joint undertaking in which the cities will consider sharing of certain law enforcement services and facilities between the four communities. This is an unprecedented and it's an historic move. Mayors Grove, Harrell, Finley, and Marini recently commissioned an initiative to analyze and to forecast the possible logistic efficiencies, cost savings, any coverage enhancements, or any other public safety improvements that could result from a shared police services and facility arrangement. And with that, I'll turn it over to the mayors as their press conference.
Okay, everyone. The formal mayoral directive comes after several months of preliminary discussion between the police chiefs and financial officers of the four cities. The possibility of some type of official coalition between law enforcement agencies was suggested in the light of the City of Peru's consideration of a newly constructed police facility that could be built to house multiple agencies. Four mayors and their respective city councils requested additional exploration by the police chiefs, financial officers, and the possibility of sharing certain public safety services at a shared law enforcement headquarters. The leading premise behind this cooperative is that certain efficiencies could be achieved and substantial financial savings realized for all communities involved while retaining or even enhancing services currently provided to the four cities. We believe these improvements can be achieved while still maintaining the independence of the respective police agencies, their police chiefs, and the physical presence of officers in each city regardless of the location of the main headquarters of the four forces, explained City of Peru Chief Burnham. The City of LaSalle Chief Rob Uranich, City of Oglesby Chief Jim Knobloch, and Spring Valley Chief Kevin Sangston agreed with Burnaby's statement, and they assured city leaders the evidence is quite clear the proposed shared services plan would in no way impede their ability to effectively police their towns and will almost certainly improve the law enforcement services provided.
According to Chief Sangston, though Spring Valley is in a different county, we are convinced that this policing model fits us well. We know that the long-term connection between these four Illinois Valley cities can even grow.
The initial investigative phase has been completed, and presentations to the four city councils were recently made to relay the results. The mayors and aldermen unanimously determined it to be in the best interest of their cities to begin a more in-depth analysis of this very progressive but complex concept. It was further decided by city officials that each of the four cities will be represented in future discussions by the mayor plus 3 additional representatives from each city. Explained Chief Knobloch, the group will work together as a joint committee to refine the proposed plan, address concerns raised, hash out the legal parameters, and complete a comprehensive analysis of the financial impact of the arrangement. Regular reporting to each city council, police department staff, and the public is expected. We think the results will be remarkably positive. According to the proposal presented to the city officials, each police department will continue to operate with reporting structures separate and independent of one another, but benefits will be realized from the shared facility, shared equipment, collaborative policing efforts, and overlap in other departmental services. Chief Uranich made the comment, the success of the Illinois Valley Regional Dispatch Service, which we all know we've been over 1 year with that now. A similar collaborative effort between our cities gives us confidence that this new arrangement and regionalized approach to law enforcement will work. The cost savings to taxpayers are substantial. Police-related technology has gotten very costly. Cyber crimes have gotten more complex and time-consuming to fight, and our old-fashioned crimes like theft and drug trafficking aren't slowing down at all, unfortunately. If we can better utilize our resources as a region, share technology costs, share training costs, share facilities costs, leverage manpower to allow for more specialization among our officers, I think we'll become more efficient and more effective police forces individually and as a whole for the whole Illinois Valley area.
Projected savings to taxpayers from the dispatch consolidation were expected to top $750,000 per year. Savings under the proposed shared police service plan could dwarf that number, according to initial calculations. Preliminary projections show a savings to LaSalle, Peru, and Oglesby and Spring Valley taxpayers totaling $250 million over the next 6 decades. I think that number is just staggering. Commenting on the initial findings presented by the police chiefs and financial officers of LaSalle, Peru, Oglesby, and Spring Valley, Mayor Grove stated, "These are exciting times for the 4 cities. Based on the preliminary evaluation of the shared services plan, there will be real and long-term significant benefits to the taxpayers of the Illinois Valley. If we can enhance the law enforcement services of our cities, keep our citizens safer while still realizing long-term savings in a very substantial amounts we are projected, we certainly want to explore this possibility in greater detail."
In myself and the city of Peru, we are very pleased today to see that the 4 cities have come together on such a bold initiative to further investigate this real possibility. The financial struggles facing local governments all across our state and nation are very challenging. As city leaders, we have the duty and obligation to look for ways to reduce the financial burden for our taxpayers and constituents. Preliminary results suggest this more regionalized law enforcement approach could go a long way toward delivering significant cost savings to our municipalities and our residents.
The city of Oglesby is very happy to be part of the discussion with our neighbors. We all greatly appreciate the services and dedication of our men and women in law enforcement. Based on the initial discussions and studies, this new plan will provide them with greater resources, greater manpower, and better access to the tools they need to succeed in their jobs, all while helping them operate the departments more efficiently and with great tax savings to our residents. I fully support the efforts to continue assessing this plan.
I've been equally optimistic. Opportunities to control long-term pension costs are few and far between. This is an opportunity where a community investment in a shared building can lead to massive taxpayer savings while gaining area policing services to the taxpayers. The mayors and city officials all emphasize that no final decision or commitments have yet been made. All pledge to ensure the investigative process will be detailed, comprehensive, and transparent. Regular and frequent progress reports at city council meetings open to the public are planned. Look to your local media outlets for extensive future coverage on this story.
I think we all kind of agreed when this concept came together is, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, would this even be a discussion that the 4 cities would have? We share a high school, multiple high schools with the St. Bede. We share a hospital. Right now, our men and women in the police departments and the fire departments and even our public works all work together on mutual aid situations already. This would be more of a formalized team effort going forward with that. And before we met with the press today, with you guys at 3, we did meet with the departments. We wanted them to hear it first. And that's how we plan on doing it going forward, is make sure our folks hear these things first and very transparent about it as we move forward. So appreciate everybody's time on that. There's not going to be a whole lot of answers we can probably do, just because, as we told our folks, we're just really in the preliminary parts, just investigating this and seeing what we can go forward. There's actual nuts and bolts, operational issues that we can actually make this work. So thank you for coming out.
You guys taking questions, or?
We'll take it.
Sure. If we can.
We can answer.
We can answer them.
Mayor Haro, I know Peru, the plan was to build a new facility, police department. If this goes through, would the 4 cities then share in the cost of the new facility?
We'll be setting up committees, which will consist of police chiefs, well, the mayors, police chiefs, our finance officers, and then we still have an unknown. There'll probably be somebody from each respective police department elected by themselves to come and serve on the committee. and then we're not sure if there'll be another person or if that will be enough. We want our police department to be involved in it from step one. That's why it was kept very quiet, and amazingly enough, it was kept quiet until today when we rolled this out. There's many questions that we answered today, many questions that still need to be answered. But the main thing is, like Mayor Grove said, we're together, we're trying to do something together. We started with the regional dispatch, which started in 2010 with a conversation between the three of us, and it went live September of 2016. We hope that this won't take that long because we already have a blueprint to go by, meaning we've worked together already, and this is another unprecedented move by the four cities.
Question over here. It sounds like if this did all come together, then the new station would be improved.
Well, the question that was asked, yes, Peru was going to build a station. And myself and Peru Police Chief Doug Burnaby talked, and we said, you know, we'd love to build a station, we'd love to build it exactly where we want it, but it wouldn't be fair to the other communities. We need to cooperate one another, and this is another form of cooperation, and our goal is to make it better for everyone.
If this happened and there was one station, I mean, what would most likely happen to the existing stations? Would they be like substations, or would they be abandoned or sold? Or
You know, at this time, though, we really don't know.
I know it's far away,
It's
but-
so far away that for us to even speculate, it's not there yet.
One of the savings, I know it's far away, but people are going to wonder, will you still need 4 police chiefs? And even from down there, as far as, will there be some attrition, as far as, there was some of that, I know, with the regional dispatch, there was some moving around of jobs. I guess, what do you guys foresee as far as consolidating
Well,
to
that's
one?
one of the commitments that we made today, was that nobody be losing their jobs, their employment's safe, pensions are safe, we're not gonna take a pay cut. If there is any, and again, that's gonna be part of the committee's, part of the further investigation to see where will we gain those, those efficiencies that would make it worth the cost savings to do something going forward. Kelly?
Yeah, there would be nobody losing their job. I think that's paramount. And nobody's gonna get a pay cut. Their pensions are still gonna be there. And we'll be transparent going forward in whatever decisions we have that be made.
Anyone else?
The IVRD obviously started off with a set number of charter members and then expanded. Is this a situation where you'd build a new facility with room to grow, or is this a partnership that starts and ends with the 4 cities?
At this point, we don't know.
That would be investigation moving forward.
I think
Good question.
one significant thing to point out too is that it's not very often, if ever, that you see 4 mayors sitting here together and coming together on one initiative. I think this is historic in itself.
In 2 counties.
Where would some of the expected savings be? I know, Wall, you mentioned a big number. Just maybe summarizing, what do you guys see as the big savings?
I would say that you would need to talk to our finance officers, not right now, not today, but to see the presentation that they have, that we can show you that we have in front of us right now.
And again, that's kind of a work in process, because we told the folks that today that is there savings on the road if we're, covering, where we don't need as many officers? We don't know that. We're looking at that. Again, there's not a whole lot of meat and potatoes at this point, but I think we just want to let everybody know exactly what we're talking about, what we're considering. Because if we had these meetings and people would be here on the street, then it's like, well, what's going on? So I know it seems like there's a lot to be determined, but there is, because we're not to that point. We just got to the point where all 4 city councils say, hey, let's move forward with this as cities, to look into this further to see if this is something we want to do. But, you know, obviously, you know, our team over here that's our partnership, and we need to make sure they know about it and they're comfortable with it as, you know, as we do this process. And we could come back in 3 months or 4 months and say, hey, you know what, it doesn't work, or else, hey, yeah, maybe it's gonna work, and here's the plan, you know. There's still a lot of information to go through and thoughts, and, you know, some people mentioned, well, how much are the chiefs to be involved as opposed to the alderman and mayor? Believe me, I think I can speak for everybody here, you know, the chiefs are the professionals, the men and women who do the job already are the professionals, we're to get their input, you know, we're not gonna, you know, I don't think Chief Uranich would let me make decisions if he didn't totally support them, you know, so.
What's the next step? Is there a particular next step, or?
Formation of committees. We're, all elected officials have been informed on it, and unanimously everyone is in favor to move forward. So the next is the formation of the committees, and move forward as quickly as possible.
And just like IVRD, you know, those committees will pretty much probably be open for public meeting, you know, if there's a situation where we have to go into executive session when we start getting specific things, we will, but, you know, it's again, it's a situation where we wanted to make it as transparent as possible as we go forward. And the police chiefs, I know, will be, as part of that committee from each city, so that's a good thing to know.
All right, thanks for coming, everybody. We'll wrap it up.
We appreciate it.